And we're rolling. Boom! Greetings and welcome to the I Have a Dream podcast. We have our special guest today, no other than the one, the only, Daniel Gomez. Daniel Gomez, go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's up, everybody? I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me, Pops. My name is Daniel Gomez. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what we're going to talk about today.
All right, beautiful. For those people who do not know Danny is the owner of KO Elites. He play in the UPSL, and he play in a bunch of other leagues, CSL. What else, Danny? What else? What are the other leagues that you play in?
Hartford Industrial League, the very popular Corner League, they call it. But it's actually, I think it's called like
Jamaican League.
Hartford Premier Development League. I think that's like the official name, but everyone knows it as the Jamaican League or Corner League from the Hartford area. We also played in the Eastern Premier Soccer League. You already mentioned the CSL, which is a Connecticut soccer league. Mm-hmm. Most recently, we played in the UPSL. And then we played a couple of U23 leagues a couple summers ago. I can't really remember the names of them, though.
Beautiful. So, Danny, before we go into you being an owner of KO Elites, we need to know, what was your dream growing up as a kid?
I was expecting that question. I mean, the name of the podcast is I Have a Dream. What was my dream? I mean, growing up, we always have a dream. Definitely wasn't to be a lawyer or a police officer.
No, that's boring.
I think it's boring. Like the typical dream that most people have.
Yeah.
No, I was growing up. I always wanted to be a professional soccer player.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've been playing since I was about 5 years old, and I've been playing travel and premier level in West Hartford since about 9 years old. So like very young. So anytime anyone asks me, my teachers, my parents, anyone, literally anybody, I would always say I want to be a professional soccer player.
Nice. So, I want to ask, so who or what have inspired you to want to become a professional soccer player? Was it me? Was it?
What inspired me?
Yeah. Why did you choose to be a professional soccer player? Or to have that dream?
I think just growing up, my parents, I mean, I'm Colombian and Peruvian, so I have the Spanish background, South American background in me.
Hola.
And soccer is a very popular sport. So when I was growing up, my grandpa would always watch soccer games. Back then, I had no idea which games I was watching, but I came upon a player that I was watching, and he became my favorite soccer player. Until this day, he's still my favorite soccer player.
Let me guess. Was it Ronaldinho?
It was Ronaldinho. Yes.
He's the best.
Ronaldinho, yes. And I think it makes everyone fall in love with the game.
Yeah. So Ronaldinho has inspired you to be a soccer player. I've watched you play, and I don't know how he inspired you, because you don't play nothing like Ronaldinho. What's up with that?
No, I have no flair, no tricks like he does. Not even close.
You should take your inspiration from somebody else, like somebody simple, like Iniesta or somebody else.
Yeah, true.
Okay, but man, so prior to having that dream, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you knew that you have that dream from around age 5. Ronaldinho was your inspiration. So what steps did you do to achieve that dream?
So growing up, like I said, I was playing at travel and premier level soccer from U9. Mm-hmm. Then I would try to push myself a little bit to go to the academy level, but I don't think I pushed myself hard enough when I was younger. I don't want to say my parents didn't push me hard enough, because they always were there for me whenever I needed them.
Right.
So I guess I didn't push myself hard enough to go to like an academy like Oakwood or.
You were lazy.
Yeah, I was lazy. I mean, growing up, I always thought I was the cool kid, so I thought everything was just going to come my way. I didn't have to work for anything.
Boom, the cool guy.
Yeah, so so honestly, there wasn't many steps I took to actually achieve my dream. I thought everything was just going to come to me when I turned 18 or 16 at the time. And then reality hit when I got into high school, I would say.
Okay, and then when you realized that you know what, I don't think this is for me, then you decided to create this fantastic club. By the way, if you're watching this on YouTube or Rumble, anybody that's watching this on videos, these trophies that you see in the background, these are all won by KO Elites, and this is just a small fraction of his collection that he has. So
True.
before you realize, or after you realize that I don't want to play this anymore, I want to go in something else, I'm gonna create. That is when you created your own club, KO Elites. Go ahead, please tell me about
want the whole
what
story?
is KO Elites, and please give me the full story.
Full story.
Full
Okay.
story.
I never intended to build what KO is today. I never even thought from the beginning when I created it, it was going to be what it is today. Like I said, in high school, senior year, I started realizing that, you know what, going professional is probably not going to happen. It's not realistic, but I could still probably play at the collegiate level. So I didn't do that much. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, I didn't really go out and look for. I didn't have scouts come and watch me. I didn't really have that desire to really push myself anymore. I was just like, you know what? If any colleges ask me to play, maybe I'll just go play. So I ended up at Endicott my freshman year in college. I only did one semester there, and then I transferred over to Uconn. So when I transferred over to Uconn, I was going to the Uconn campus in West Hartford at the time. It was literally right by my house. So when I was doing that, I still played soccer on the side, but not at that high level anymore. So I was just doing pickup games here and there. I was playing in men's leagues that were local, and I just started meeting a lot of new people and players and stuff like that. And growing up too, when I was playing at the premier level, I just made a lot of friends that also went to college and actually played at the D1, D2, D3 level all 4 years. Anyways, so when I was a freshman in college and I was going to Uconn,
All right.
like I said, I was playing in some men's leagues, some local ones, especially there was one in Hartford.
Were you the best playing in those leagues?
I would like to think so. I was definitely the youngest. Definitely the youngest.
That's right.
So in one of those leagues, I met this dude. I met this guy. His name was Paulington Johnson, and that's how I knew him as. I knew him as Paul.
Right.
He's a Jamaican dude, and him and I didn't really get along at first. I actually cussed him out when I first met him. He came to one of our games in Colt Park when I was playing for the Columbia soccer team. It was like
Yeah.
I forgot the name of the league, but it was like all Spanish teams in there. If you know what I'm talking about, you probably you would know.
Yeah, I
Everyone
met blacks,
knows
and I
about the
think
Spanish league in Hartford. So yeah, I was there.
good money.
Yeah, I was like 18 at the time. So I met this dude named Paul, and after one game, he just talked to me a little bit because he saw that I was a young kid, and he asked me what I was basically doing there, and he thought I was a decent player. And then a couple weeks went by. We had a game every week, and me and him started getting along more and more. And he talked to me about how he knew a lot of players in the area that needed someone to put everybody together, bring everyone together.
Okay.
Have someone be like the leader type kind of thing. He was saying how a lot of his friends are all over the place playing everywhere. There's really no one team for everybody.
Yeah.
They're all looking around and trying to find somewhere to play. So when he brought that idea up to me, I was also playing pickup soccer with my old high school friends on every Sunday mornings. I would play.
Right. Were you the best there too?
I was definitely the best there. Some of them could tell you otherwise, but I was definitely the best there. And so with some of them, I just started doing some indoor leagues. We called ourselves random names. The KO Elites never came about until a couple years after.
What was the worst name that you guys called yourself?
Probably like Warriors, something simple like that. Warriors. Honestly, I think we used Weehaw Wolves in the beginning too. Some just random names.
Weehaw Wolves.
And then, so when I met with that dude Paul, we had an indoor team, and I told him, I was like, you know what, just come check us out, come play with us and all my friends. And he did, and he liked the vibes and everything. So the winter of 2018.
Mm-hmm.
So that spring, so the following spring, which was 2019, Paul really pushed me to do something about it. He was like, dude, I've been telling you, you have all these people now. You know a lot of players. I played with you in all your indoor teams. You've been playing with me over here in this outdoor league. why not try and go play in a league where you put your own team, an outdoor league? And I was like, all right, that's a good point. Let's see what I could do. So I started hitting up a lot of different people, and we ended up playing in a league called Meriden Mexican Soccer League.
Oh, I remember that league. Yeah.
So at the time, I didn't even put the team name as KO Elites. I put the team name as AC Uconn because I was playing for the Uconn club team at the time too. So Blacks and I put the team together, and that's when I started calling him Blacks, his nickname, which everyone called him.
Hold on. Let me ask you something. So you being Spanish, right?
Yeah.
When you started calling him Blacks, didn't you think that that was a little bit racist?
Absolutely. I was very uncomfortable calling him Blacks at first, but he was like used to it, so he like liked it. He was like confused when I would call him Paul. Every time I called him Blacks, he would like answer to me. Other than that, he would just not like listen to me. It was weird.
Oh God.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and people would like look at me funny too when I would call him Blacks. They're like, "What? His name's Paul." I'm like, no, it's Blacks. That's what they call him.
His name is Blacks, and trust me, he's black. I think
Yeah.
Is he blacker than me? You think?
Yeah, that's why he has that nickname for sure. So yeah, we did the Meriden Soccer League. I gathered a lot of people together. One of them was Daniel Freitas, Blacks, Kirk, Nick Fernandez, Stevie, a lot of, and then some other guys I used to play Premier with. Like I said, you had Quentin Swift, Michael Fang. So we won that league. We actually won that league, the Meriden Soccer League. I got a big trophy that's not there. It's not here actually.
Couldn't fit. Too big.
So when we won that league, Blacks told me, he was like, you see what I said? When you put a team together, we can have a great team. So going into that summer of 2019 is when I actually brought everyone together and we created something. We created something called KO Elites. So when we came all together, Nick Fernandez really pushed me to be the leader of it and told me to get everyone together, start organizing it. Let's actually build something out of this. So Nick Fernandez pushed me to do it. Daniel Freitas and Black's really good friend named Damon Davis, but I knew him as British, and I don't think I've ever called him Damon ever. But British was there too, and when British was brought on and he found out about the idea, he was another one that really pushed me. Him and Kirk DaCosta. So we entered something called the Hartford Industrial League. And that's when I think KO started blowing up. It got on the map of Connecticut, I think. We started because of Nick Fernandez. He does creative type of work, like editing and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. He created our very first logo, which was awesome.
Is it the one that we're seeing now here?
That was revamped. Yeah, that one's the newest one. I'm trying to see if you have the old one. No, it's very exclusive now that I think of it, the old one. But yeah, Nick Fernandez created a logo, and he was like, yeah, dude, I'll just create the logo for the team so we have something to like look at and look cool, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right, let me see if I can get us some jerseys. So I got us some jerseys, the logo, so we looked kind of official. We started looking like an actual team.
Boom.
Not a bunch of pickup players
That's
just playing together. So that Hartford Industrial League, like I said, when we played it, I was introduced to even more players because all the people I brought would bring other players because it was like a summer league. So when college kids came out, they would come and play with us, and people just started finding out about us from all the communities around the Hartford area. So it was really cool.
And you didn't have to pay these guys; they would just come and just play for the team.
Yeah, knock on wood. I haven't paid players, and I still haven't paid players. I'm probably never going to, but we'll see. I guess that's another question.
What if Lionel Messi come join the club? What are you gonna say?
Yeah, that's probably another topic. But yeah, so when we were doing the Hartford Industrial League at the end of the season, we won it, and everyone was really excited about what was growing, what was coming to be, kind of thing. And that winter of 2019 is when I actually established KO Elites even more. I was like, you know what, let's go play in these other leagues. I'm sorry, not the winter, the fall of 2019. And that's why in the badge right there it says established the 2019
Right,
KO Elites.
yeah, we can see that.
And that's when we started playing in the Connecticut Soccer League. We started playing in more local leagues. And we really started to grow. you're probably gonna ask me later, but I'll just say it now. I'm really thankful for all the players that that started the journey with KO. It was a vast majority of players from all over.
Majority. Yeah,
From
that
all
is
over.
beautiful. That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Big up yourself, guys. From the one and only Daniel Gomez.
Yeah. So
Do a lot of people know that your name is Daniel?
no, no one really calls me Daniel. I think only my parents call me Daniel, to be honest with you.
I remember you were speaking about blacks. I remember one night we were at FSA because blacks introduced me and you together, blacks and British. That's how I met you. And one night we were at FSA playing and you came late and I was excited to see you. This time I was like 14, 15
Yeah,
at the
you were
time.
young, super young.
Yeah, and I saw you and I said, Daniel, Daniel. And blacks look at me with a straight face and said, don't you ever call another man Daniel. His name is Danny. Call him Danny.
Yep.
And that's what I started calling you ever since,
Yeah.
Danny.
It's funny because growing up, I always tell people, nobody called me Danny, Daniel, nobody ever. Everyone called me Gomez. The only people that called me Danny were the girls. Everyone else called me Gomez.
Oh, so you're saying that I should start calling you Gomez now, huh?
It's a little weird, but like all the Jamaicans I know only call me Danny. None of them really call me Gomez. But you listen to like Freitas, George, Martin, and all them talk, they call me Gomez. They call me Gomez.
Yeah, but go ahead, continue with the story, my friend.
Continue with the story. I mean, yeah, like I said, after the Hartford Industrial League, and when we went into the CSL and all these other leagues that we did in indoor and stuff, we started winning little tournaments here and there. That's when we really started blowing up, and that's when Nick wanted to change up the logo and make it a little bit more official, and he did a fantastic job. Yeah, I think it's awesome.
I like the logo very, very much. KO Elites FC. I think you guys need my face on it though to make it a little bit better, right?
Yeah, everyone loves the logo. I think it's dope. He did an awesome job.
Okay, so you went ahead and Blacks told you to gather up some guys, and you did gather up the guys, and now you have a phenomenal brand called KO Elites. I now understand that you also have a U23s KO Elites, and let me ask you, are you going lower than the U23s? Are you trying to go to U6, U9, U12? What are you trying to do?
So that's a great question. I could touch on that a bit. So the U23 was created a little after we had KO Elites established. I would say around 2021. The U23 really came about when I was at the Granby Street field one day, and me and Blacks were just hanging out, and he pointed out a kid to me. He said, this kid over there, he's a young kid, but that kid's going to be a pretty good player when he gets older.
Who's that?
It was Josiah Clark. And you guys know him as Zion.
Oh, Zion?
Zion.
Oh, he shoots the ball like a rocket.
Yeah, and I mean, when I saw him, I think he was like 14 at the time, but looked like a grown man.
Bro, Josiah, you
Looks
see
bigger
him,
than
you
me.
see him going to the gym right now? He's jacked.
But but Blacks actually pointed me to him, and he was like, this kid can play. He's young, but guess what? You can't actually have him on the KO men's team because it's a men's league. You only can have kids that are 18 and older. Yeah. So Blacks was like, why don't you try to do something for the younger guys? And I pitched the idea to British. I pitched the idea to Nick, and they all were like, oh, that's an awesome idea. And British knew a lot of people in Hartford. He knows everybody. If you don't know British, then you just don't know Hartford. But so yeah, and British was like, oh, I have all these kids that know how to play, blah blah blah. And so yeah, it just came out to be the U23s where we just started promoting it a little bit. Nick started doing all his edits, all his creations on Instagram, YouTube, everything, Facebook, and he just started promoting it like crazy. Yeah. And what Nick did, which actually helped a lot, and I took his ideas in doing it now too, is that he tapped into the college market, meaning like he tapped into all the college players. And he brought the idea to me. He was like, dude, if you really think about it, when you graduate from college and you're not playing at the next level, but you still want to play, where do you go? You're like 20, 21. Where do you go when you graduate school to go play soccer? You just go pick up Sunday mornings? And Nick was like, dude, what you're doing is actually a fantastic idea. I think we should get on this even more. So U23 probably blew up a lot during COVID time when we linked up with Vale Soccer Club in Middletown, Connecticut.
Vale, that's what's his name? Nick? No, not Nick.
Not Nick.
Zach.
Zach and Jeremy.
Zach,
all them.
my boy Zach.
AJ.
Big shout out to Zach.
Yeah, he's been awesome. Till this day, he's awesome with us. He really loves KO. And but yeah, when we linked up with them, U23s blew up even more. So I think the whole purpose of the U23 was to always create that pathway for players, the younger guys. And then you asked me about even younger, right?
Yeah.
Going even younger. So recently, I have been asked a lot, and from people and even some players, I have younger brothers and sisters. A lot of people have been asking me why don't I tap into the younger market. And I know it's a lot of work. I know we could do it, KO.
Right.
I know we could, but I also don't want to tap into a market that's already established with so many other great programs around the Hartford area. You got Williams Soccer Academy by
Right.
Coach Williams. You got Hartford Lions Soccer Academy by Coach Kimmy and Coach Sean Buchanan.
Yeah.
You have the Hartford Soccer Club. That's also Williams and I think Brian Gallagher. You also have the B90 Football Academy. That's
Right.
from my friend Buka. Shout out Buka. And then there's one more that I'm forgetting at the top of my head. The HPDL, Hartford Premier Development League,
HPDL. Yes.
by Coach Dre.
and
those
you're
guys.
saying that you don't want to run a competition with them because you respect them so much.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be fair to go ahead and go against them and do all that. I don't think they already have something very, very established. So when people come and ask me for their kids, I try to direct them and towards the HPDL,
Right.
Hartford Lions Soccer Academy, Williams Soccer Academy.
Oh, such a nice guy.
Try to be.
I'm gonna tag them
I try
into
to be.
this video.
But yeah, so maybe not now. Maybe later on when I'm older. Maybe
Maybe in the future.
Maybe do some
You know what I
collaborations
think?
with them.
I think if you do it, you'll gather a different class of people, and you can have competitions with those guys. So it would help to make soccer bigger in Hartford, Connecticut.
I agree with you. I also think though that because there's so many different programs in one area,
Yeah,
Hartford's big, I guess, but not that big. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what.
So
you
I
mean.
think some of them need to start. In my opinion, I think they all should just start coming together more and start working together more.
Right. So it's
so
like
they can actually build not just these little travel and development programs, but actually
Right.
build an academy.
a real academy. You
Real
know who's
academy out
doing
of
that
Hartford.
very good? Zach
From Middletown, with
Yeah.
Vale. Yeah, he's starting to
Vale, yeah.
do his thing. And there's actually another one that I forgot. I knew I forgot this one because we actually have players that play with us now in the UPSL that grew up with this program. Is the Hartford Hellions.
Ooh.
Hartford Hellions, Coach Mike Torres.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, you have guys,
Nice.
guys like Deontay that played with us in the UPSL. Rob the Kaiser.
Ooh.
So they had a very good program. I heard when they were growing up, they were doing big things,
No, that's sick.
traveling and everything. I heard Coach Mike Torres is great with that. Great job, great program.
Yo, that is absolutely sick. So you're not doing it because of the competition. You don't want to run the competition
Yeah.
with other guys. But let me ask you this, Danny. So since you start KO Elites in 2019,
Mm-hmm.
right? Have any guys yet went to go play professional football from this sudden impact that you had on the scene?
I don't want to say because of KO Elites they made it to the next level.
Right.
I think they use it as a platform to help them.
Okay.
But I
Okay.
feel like some players that I know definitely, I mean, they work their ass off to get where they are.
Yeah.
But I know they try to use KO to help them
Develop themselves. yeah.
themselves more and promote themselves more.
Yeah.
Because that's what we try to do.
Actually, when I was in Jamaica, I wanted to play striker. I wanted to develop to play striker because that's what they bought me for in
Yeah.
Jamaica. So I looked at the website and I said to myself, you know what? If I come and play for KO Elites, maybe you guys can develop me to play in a striker. And let me add, I'm a much better player now
Mm-hmm.
that I was back when I was home. Because of the different league you guys go in, because of the different
Yeah.
people that we play in,
Yeah.
that we play with. So you guys have developed me much more. It's a shame
You're always injured.
I'm always injured, but don't worry, I'm gonna pray and and hopefully I'll be 100% fit to take on. You see, when I'm back, I'm gonna come. Pause. When I'm back, I'm gonna be present. And I'm going to take over the whole entire thing. Right?
But yeah, no.
Beware.
Coming
back.
I think KO, because it's established now and people really know about it. A lot of coaches know about it in the area. A lot of college coaches know about it. I think it is an established program where the kids that graduate school and need a platform to try to go, not directly professional like MLS or something, but a little bit below it, like semi-professional.
Right.
Where they're gonna get paid and stuff like that. Top of my head, I know like you got Quentin Swift. He's playing in the indoor professional league.
Big shout out to Q.
Yep. That's one of them. Another one that I was surprised he even joined us.
Cool.
But he had so much respect for us, and I was so shocked because when I first talked to him, I was like, "Wow, this dude actually really respects KO. He loves what we're doing."
Who's that?
Mr. Bull, Tavoy Morgan.
Boom, boom. If you guys have not seen Bull play, trust me, he's just a phenomenal player to watch. I'm surprised he's not playing in like.
I mean, but I know he's doing fantastic things, awesome things, great things. I mean. And he gets nothing but praise where he plays in, I think it's California, I want to say.
Bro, I actually want to play against Bull to see, like, what level I'm at.
It's not fun playing against him.
You're not me, man. I want to play
I've heard
against
that by a
Bull.
lot of defenders. The only one that loves playing against Bull
is who?
Is Sean.
Butters?
Yep. He loves it. Every time he plays against Bull, he always loves that matchup.
Bro,
and British too, actually. British loves playing against him.
I love to play against good players. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, and congrats to Bull and Q Swift on that big win in the was it TST 7v7 tournament, the $1 million tournament with Newtown.
Yes, Newtown. Big shout out to Newtown. They won a 7v7 tournament, $1 million. The only thing that I do not like about that is you guys didn't give KO Elites any of the money. Come on, give us some of the money. Let's develop together.
So you got some of them that made it to the next level. And then you got other guys that are playing at like the USL2 level. I know Khalid Rose is playing a little bit. Jordan Kadua.
Q is my guy, by the way. Kadua, and I love Kadua.
Yeah, great kids, great dudes, great people. Yeah.
Kadua. Yeah.
Very, very humble. That's what I like about them too.
Yeah.
And you got guys like Tim Ennin. You got the Clark. Yep, you got the Clark brothers.
And Alex.
Yep.
So swift. One night I was playing against him in at LP Wilson. It was getting a little bit dark. He was a little bit smaller and a little bit swifter. And believe you not, I thought he was teleporting the way fast he was moving. And Tim is another one. Tim,
monster.
Bro. If you see Tim, I'm gonna be honest. If you see Tim, you're gonna say, this guy's. I don't think he can play.
Yeah.
But when you see that guy touches the field, bro, he does some amazing things.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And I hope you get a lot of them on this show. I think you will. And I can't wait to hear
these guys on the show. You know, one of the guys I would love to get on the show is I was talking to you about is Patrick, not Patrick Star from SpongeBob. Patrick, I can't even pronounce his last name.
Patrick
Mang
or something like that.
Yeah. So
sorry,
Patrick. Big shout out to Patrick. Patrick, we love to get you on the show. For those of you who do not know Patrick was a player that played with us, right? And he now left to play at MLS. This guy has played against Lionel Messi.
Yeah,
this is one of the greatest. I'll be blessed if I was even in the same area with Lionel Messi, right? And he's playing with him.
I wonder how he just kept his composure. Like, if you see Messi, I don't know. I think I'd start crying. I honestly don't know what I would do. I don't know.
I'll probably punch him right in the face.
I really wouldn't know what to do. I don't know how you keep your cool and composure when you see the greatest of all time. I really don't.
No, I think Cristiano Ronaldo is the greatest of all times. I'm actually quite upset that Lionel Messi win the
Ballon d'Or,
the Ballon d'Or and the World Cup, but I still love Lionel Messi. I'm not gonna lie. And funny thing is, before he won the World Cup, Lionel Messi was my guy. After he won the World Cup, I start loving Cristiano Ronaldo.
Crazy.
I don't know what it is.
Crazy. You just gotta appreciate both of them, man.
I do appreciate them both, but big up to all the guys that play for KO Elites. And so, Danny, I know that you have done all these great things for the guys. What is for the future, though, for KO Elites? Because what is your dream now? Since that you didn't achieve being a professional before, what is your dream now? And does it consist KO Elites and its future?
That's a very good question. A big question, too. I know I always joke with the guy saying, I'm done with KO, I'm done with KO.
Every day he says this.
And
yesterday he said it,
recently I've been saying I'm done with it at the end of this year.
Obviously
that's not true. I have a lot of big plans for the new year in 2024.
Boom.
Hear that? I'm not going to say too much, but a lot of plans. Because once you start sharing too much information, people try to take it, use
Yeah.
it.
Boom. So,
I'll
but you
use
need
it.
other players to come to the club too, man. You need like
Yeah.
you need
I
great
mean,
players
you
to
asking
come to the
me
club.
about the younger guys.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't just talk about the younger guys. You gotta always talk about the older guys too that do so much for us. And I think they inspire a lot of the younger guys and teach a lot of the younger guys.
Yeah.
You got guys like Lamar Chancey, very
Boom.
very big time player, a big time player.
Boom.
And he's actually one of the fewer guys
The GOAT.
that's always been there for me. Honestly, Lamar's always
Number
checked up on
6.
me and always pushes. To this day, he's always pushing me to keep going with KO.
I heard he was a coach for the U23s, and I'm gonna break the ice with you, Lamar Chancey. I'm gonna break the ice. I'm gonna tell you what the guy said. The guy said that you run them too much. One training session with Lamar, everybody said that. Oh my God, I could feel my legs for weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, when he was coaching, everyone loved Lamar because he's just not only just a great dude, but he just when it means business, it's time for business.
You know what I like about Chancey too? He's there and he tell you exactly what he means.
Yep.
If you go on Instagram right now, you're gonna see a video of me and him arguing.
Oh my God, there's so many him arguing with players. Him and Skeeta, him and you, him and British, him and me sometimes. A lot. He argues with everybody.
Because you know why? And I respect him a lot. I don't think he get a lot of praise for this. It's because he tell you the truth.
He tells you how it is.
A lot of people don't like the truth.
Yep. I agree with you 100%.
That's Chancey
and
right there.
Most recently we have Kwesi around, and I think everybody respects Kwesi to the highest level possible. Kwesi is just such a mellow, composed, awesome, like very down to earth.
Fun fact about Kwesi, he can't shout.
I heard him shout, but not shouting. I feel like he's shouting before cussing.
He can't shout. Listen, he can't shout across the room. I'm telling you. Whenever he shout, his voice just get higher. Guys,
come on, man.
Come on. You see how they're playing?
Yeah.
You see how they're playing?
He's another one though. He definitely played at the highest level possible, and
yeah, Kwesi. Yeah, we're gonna have Kwesi on the show too, and Chancey
and Lamar one day.
Yeah,
and then two or three guys that don't get a lot of credit because people don't really know that much about them.
Who?
One of them that's honestly been there for me since the passing of Blacks, and he's always been in my corner, always checking up on me, always supporting what I'm doing, always actually giving me great ideas. And I'll tell you one thing that I do want to work on: a store for KO Elites.
A what?
A store.
A store. Like
our own store for our own jerseys and stuff like that.
Oh, that would be
we could
nice.
touch on that in a second, but
yeah.
Johnny Mitchell.
Johnny Mitch.
He's a kid. Not even a kid. He's a dude, a grown man. he's a guy that ever since I've known him, he never liked playing. Yeah. He's always been pushed to play because he's so good. And if you've seen Johnny Mitch play, the dude's nasty when he wants to play. But most of the time, he doesn't want to play. But anyways, he's actually a humongous supporter for KO.
Yeah. And
he knows like every single one that plays for us, and he just loves what we're doing, and he's always checking up on me.
Yeah,
that's him.
I'm surprised. He knows every single story about KO Elites before I even know it. And I'm with you. I hang out with you every single day.
Yeah.
And the other day we saw Johnny Mitch at the at Best Buy, remember?
Yep.
And he was like, "Oh, Danny, you're doing this now?" I said, "What?
Yeah.
When are you doing this?"
Yeah. He knows everything I'm doing. He's probably my he's always my go-to guy anytime I need some advice or something. Him. And then, everyone knows this dude, a legend in Jamaica, Jamie Hyde, the Hyde brothers, the Hyde family, I should say.
Boom.
But Jamie Hyde's another one that's always checking up on me, always trying to tell me never to stop, never to give up. And then Kirk DaCosta, too.
Kirk DaCosta.
I think these are the three guys, like, behind the scenes, kind of, that people don't really know about. Because people know I've always been getting advice from, like, British, from Nick, from Freitas, from the guys that are still playing all the time. But the behind-the-scenes guy, I got to give a lot of credit to Johnny, Kirk, and Jamie.
And what about the coach that you have now?
Yeah, I was gonna get on that topic soon.
So big shout out to those guys that Danny just mentioned. That's Kirk, that's Jamie, and that's Johnny. So I need to share a story with Jamie. So the first time Jamie Hyde saw me play, he called me the night, right? I don't know where he got my number from. Took my number and called me. He was like, "Yo, Pops, I believe you're a baller. Here's what I'm going to do for you." Boom. got his father, Lenny Hyde.
Yeah.
If you guys are Jamaican watching this thing, Lenny Hyde is a legend in Jamaica. He's one of the top tier coaches. He can develop any team. Recently, he grabbed some boys and put them in the biggest league in Jamaica. This is Lenny Hyde,
Really?
right? So he grabbed his father, he called his father, and he was like, "Yo, get him on board." That's what Jamie has done for me. Very, very good guys Danny have just mentioned.
Yeah.
Now, the next thing that I wanted to ask you. So I know one of the problems that KO Elite was struggling for a very long time was having a coach, and you have resolved this problem very, very well by getting your coach. What's his name? Russell Westbrook. It's not Westbrook.
So,
but Russell.
yeah, I'm actually glad you brought that up. Because I was going to touch on that topic too a little bit if you were going to get to it. But I'll get to it now.
Tell us about Russell.
Before I get to
how
Russell,
did you met him?
Yeah, so before I get to Russell, KO was always a club that we didn't really have a head coach. We had people help out all the time, and that's I should give credit where it's due.
A lot of the guys were frustrated too.
Yeah, like Gary Clark,
Yeah.
Coach Gary Clark. He's been there when we need him, but obviously he has other priorities in his life and stuff like that. And I know he's a big time coach in the CFC and in other premier and academy programs.
Boom.
But when we needed someone, he was there for a good amount. Kirk helped out coaching a little bit, but most of the time it was always on me to coach, to play, to manage, to do all the administrative work, everything.
I think wasn't that like straining
No,
to
it
how
was
to
stressful,
manage
very
KO.
stressful. That's why every day I said I wanted to quit. That's why
then has to coach the team.
Yeah, every day I wanted to quit. So now that we joined a semi-professional league this past fall, I knew that we needed someone that we could all rely on, someone that's going to be there for us, someone that's actually going to show up to everything, not just be there for games, but actually train us.
Right.
And actually talk to every player that's on the team, because I know he does a lot of that.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
been told. And
Called me
because
all the
before
time.
it was always conversations with me, and I'm like, dude, I can't do that. I can't be a player and a coach and your support system when you need someone. You got to talk to the coach directly.
Yep.
Because he's making the calls. So that was actually a big change for me too. But anyways, I just I knew this dude Russell Rucayo. That's his name, Russell Rucayo, and I knew this whole time since we had KO. I've always seen him around, whether it be at games, whether it be at like league games, or whether it be at pickup games, or whether it be at training sessions.
Yep.
He was always around in some way, and I saw that a lot of people respected him. A lot of people that were playing with KO really were into what he was saying, what he wanted to teach us and everything. So I was like, you know what, this guy actually could be a very good coach.
Mm-hmm.
And I know he has his history in coaching, and I think you should have him on the podcast soon as well.
Yep.
And I mean, you know him as not even just as a coach, but as a friend. The dude, he's a great dude.
Yep.
He talks to you. He always wants to hear you out. He tells you how it is sometimes, like Lamar used to do.
Yep.
And he's very honest, very, very honest.
That's right. Actually, when I told you that I had this guy or this scout that should come to watch me to play striker, right? And I had like these long, hard conversations with Russell.
Yeah.
He was telling me what he thinks, and he's just like been there for me for the longest time.
Yeah.
And he actually tried to help me out while helping out the team as well. So he knew that he couldn't put me in the big matches, UPSL matches. So he decided to put me on like regular games to have me develop myself. You know, so big shout out to Russell.
Very big shout out to Russell. He does a lot that I don't realize too, and I still probably don't even thank him enough for, because he takes a lot off my shoulders, a lot. And even throughout the season, he made the calls, he made the shots, and I would, if anyone came to me about things, I would just direct them to Russell, and he would take care of it as the coach, making those hard decisions and all that. So, I mean, he always says it all the time. He doesn't care. He's here for the team, not for individuals.
That's what I like about Russell too. As much as always, he's a pain.
Big pain, but yeah.
Big pain in the butt, right? He plays the bad guy so that people can be good.
Exactly. exactly. I don't think some of the younger players realize it yet, but Russell sacrifices and does a lot for.
He does a lot for KO Elites.
Yeah,
he does a lot for KO. So big shout out to Russell. Also, I also want to mention this. I know it's a touchy topic. I think you know. I think you know where I'm going to get to. I know who I'm going to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
This guy was a big guy for KO Elites. He has recently left due to whatever reasons I will not disclose on the podcast. But he's no other than British Damon Davis. Now, what has happened between you and British and KO Elites and Damon Davis? What have happened?
I mean, like you said, there was a fallout. I mean, we don't really have to discuss that.
Right.
But I personally don't think it was a fallout where communication just like needed to stop, where our friendship just like took a pause, I guess you could say.
Right.
I don't think the whole situation had to have escalated to that extent.
Right.
I could say one of the hardest things with doing KO in my position is that at first when I was young and British and even British blacks, a lot of those older, I could even say, I don't even know him, but Chris Brooks, a lot of these other guys, when I was really young, starting KO, they would try to teach me, you know what, it's going to get harder.
Yep.
You continuing to grow a program or a club, it's going to get harder.
Yep.
And throughout these years, it's definitely gotten harder.
Trust me, I know.
Separating friendship with business. And that's something that everybody has told me.
Yep.
So the whole situation with British, I think it honestly, I think it sucks.
Yeah. That's your buddy.
I think it was sudden.
Yeah.
I didn't see it coming kind of thing.
Right.
So I was a bit shocked when it happened. I was a bit heartbroken too that we just stopped talking for a couple months.
Right.
A lot of players from the team, from the club, were curious and also shocked that they were like,
right.
what just happened? British has been such a big part of what we're
right.
doing.
Yes.
And he's been part of all the success, everything. Till this day, everything. I can't stress enough how much he's helped KO.
You know what I love about British too? I remember when the situation just happened, right?
Yeah.
And British, we had a match. The U23s had, I forgot who were they playing. They were playing
Newtown.
Ole. No, they were playing Ole.
Oh, that game. Yeah.
They were playing Ole, and we were losing. Yes, we were losing 2. This is the U23s. We were down 2, and
no, we were
British.
We were down 3.
Oh, we were down 3.
We started with 8 guys.
Yeah.
And we were down 3-0 by halftime.
We were down 3-0 by halftime. British came at the game. British and Taff, actually, came at the game, started to coach the guys. And the guys dig deep. Remember, they are all tired legs on the field. British is one of those guys that can get the fire out of the other players.
Yeah.
So British gave a talk. The guys dig deep. Let me tell you, dig so deep in so much that they scored 4 goals at the end of the 90 to win the game 3-4. Right?
They won.
And we celebrated so hard. A beautiful goal from, who was the goal from? That last goal. Shaquan. That banger. We should have that on video. That banger from Shaquan. Right in the upper 90. And he just went and just slid in the corner. It was a wet night. And I slid on my knees. I got injured. I have to walk off. And British was there celebrating with the guys. So big thanks to British. British has helped KO Elites a lot, actually.
I think so too. I would say that recently he has reached out to me. He congratulated and gave me a lot of props and said he was proud of me and what we did this season with the UPSL.
Right.
So I'm hoping we get to talk sometime soon about the whole situation and we can resolve it. And it'd be awesome if he comes back. I don't know how many times I told Russell that I would love to have British back in any capacity, any way he wants to come and help out. And I know another thing about British with the guys like you mentioned is that he knows how to talk to everybody.
Yep.
And I think everyone respects him.
Yes.
So
everybody respect British.
Even if he wants to start coaching, doing like I said, whatever he wants to do.
Yeah.
I would love him to have him. Love him to be back.
Beautiful. And I've heard rumors that British is coming back. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's true, but I would love for it to be true
Mm-hmm.
because you know my personal relationship with me and British. He's much more than family. He's like a friend to me, right? I call British and we speak about everything,
Mm-hmm.
right? He has been very good to me. And without British, this podcast would not be possible. He has this photo right here.
Davis Media.
Davis Media, go check him out. Beautiful. But Danny, again, it's beautiful that what you have started on account of you not achieving your dreams,
Yeah.
and you have found new dreams to go and reach, right? And everybody appreciate that. I would love for KO Elites to one day play in the MLS.
That'd be awesome.
So I can tell my kids that, look, I played in the MLS. Go on FIFA and search me up right now. for personal reason. I guess these are selfish reasons. And I'd love for all the guys to be developed. I know you have beautiful, wonderful players. You have this player from Jamaica that came from the, what do you call it? The Jamaica Premier League. Nado, we call him.
Shenardo.
You have Shania Miller. You have keeper
Rondre.
You have a lot of people that played professionally,
Yeah.
and a lot of people that is aspiring to go somewhere. What do you got to say to those guys that wants to go somewhere? And what do you got to say to those people that needs to develop their football? Which club are you going to tell them to go to?
Yeah, I don't know yet, but touching on that, and then you asked me the long-term goal of KO.
Yeah.
I think the long-term goal of KO is always just to be here, type of thing. Just always be a club that's accessible.
Like Celtics.
Yeah, that's accessible to everyone in the greater Hartford area.
Yeah.
I think KO is much more than a club now.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more like we always try to emphasize is that it's a family.
Yeah.
A lot of people and a lot of things that we're doing now are like the Friday night events, the pickups here and there, the dinners here and there. I think it's more of just everyone coming together and being a part of something, and where they can make friends and brothers and really connect. I think that's something that KO is really good at.
Right.
I mean, on those Friday night pickups, I think the group chat has like over 150 people alone, and I could probably add more than 200 people to that easily.
Yes.
Yeah, that's something I always want to keep KO having.
Right.
It's just that camaraderie. What is it? Camaraderie.
You don't know it. I don't know it. You're college educated.
You know what I mean. Bringing everyone together. And even
that's gonna be a meme.
Having everyone together. It doesn't matter what level, as long as we have the highest level. Then you have like a mid level, and then like the lower level.
Right.
So yeah, that's my long-term goal with KO. I mean, it'd be awesome if we go somewhere above the UPSL, like something like USL 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
To go to the MLS would obviously be insane.
We need investors, man.
You need the money for it. You need financial help. And
Yeah.
that's another thing. I was a big shout out to all the sponsors that help KO become what it is today. There's
Boom.
a lot of them. At the top of my head, you have Jerk Shack from Parkville Market. You have Virgin Mobile Car Wash. You have Davis Media. You have Nick Fernandez Media. You have Primavera that used to help us out. You have I'm looking around the jerseys now. You have Fast Fox Trucking.
Right.
You have Grants Investments Trucking. What else is there?
Joe Fortuna.
Oh, Elite Soccer Training. You have the newest one we have that's going to be a big part of what we're doing now is the barbershop.
Oh, yes.
Hartford Pro Style Barbershop.
Yes.
I mean, Oil Labs. Oil Labs
Boom.
helped a lot.
I think that's the best sponsor, personally.
Nick's Cleaning Service, my parents' company.
Yes.
And then, yeah, it's just been a journey, and I'm really grateful for all of that, all the sponsors, all the support from my family and friends. My family's been a big part of it as well.
Yeah, right.
And then
Yes.
all the players, like you just mentioned, all the players that have come through and that are still
Big up
coming.
yourself, my people.
So, yeah, big up for all of them. I remember when Shenardo, you guys call him Nardo, but I remember when he had reached out to me on Instagram, I was like, who the heck is this guy?
Yep.
I was like, how did he find out about us? And then I remember looking through his Instagram, I saw that Coombs followed him.
Yeah.
So I had to link up Coombs, and Coombs was like, oh, yeah, it's my cousin, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, yeah, I guess he's coming here. And he's like, yeah, you should give him a chance. I was like, yeah, why not? But he's not the only one that's done that. There's so many people that, and I'm sorry, I'll say that in advance. There's a lot of people that hit up the Instagram account, KO.
Yeah.
I just can't get to all the messages all the time. And honestly, I think after this, I have to text some people back that have been asking me for some information for these last couple of days. But
yeah, that's one of the things too. I've seen you have like a lot of players.
Yeah.
A lot of players.
Yeah.
A lot of players from all walks of life. Black, white, yellow, red. And if you don't know the
and
rest,
that's another
you're
cool
dead.
thing about the KO is that we have players from like all over the world,
That
literally
is
with all
beautiful.
types of backgrounds.
Yeah.
But which is cool. And I at first when we started KO, it was always known as the Jamaican team because of all the Jamaicans. But I don't think you can say that as much anymore.
No.
You got Spanish guys, like you got the Colombians coming through, Peruvians, even some
Spanish.
Brazilians coming through. You got the white guys coming
Portuguese.
through. You got the Portuguese. You got the French. You got all these type of people. So I think that's an awesome, another really sweet thing about KO.
Beautiful. Now, if any big investors seeing this, come and invest in KO Elites.
Please, yeah, it'd be awesome.
Danny, I think that is time. But I have to ask you like one more thing.
What's the last thing?
What?
What's the last thing?
Give us an advice that you would give your younger self. Now that you know every single thing that you do know now, let me know what you tell your younger self. That's it.
If I could just see myself right now, like a 12, 13.
10 years old. You had a time machine.
Yeah.
I have developed a time machine, and I've given it to you.
I think
what would you
best
go tell
advice
yourself?
I would tell my younger self would be to never be scared of getting out of your comfort zone.
Nice.
I feel like a lot of people nowadays are afraid to get out of their comfort zone to go try that thing they always talk about.
Like starting a podcast I call
Yep.
I Am a Dream.
And I give you a lot of props for that. I remember when you first came
right
here.
here.
I remember when you first came here. That was the first thing you mentioned to me, but you just didn't know how to do it, and you weren't comfortable.
Yeah.
And then I guess a couple guys pushed you to do it. So that's probably the number one thing I would say to my younger self is don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone. Social media nowadays likes to ruin, to bring people down and try to scare them away and stuff like that. But
Yep.
there's so many people out there that you and I don't know about, younger guys and girls that probably have a great idea,
Yeah.
but they're just scared.
Don't be scared, people.
I think just don't be scared and get out of your comfort zone.
That's right.
I think a lot of people need to learn how to get out of their comfort zone.
That's right. And that's time. Boom. There you hear it. From Daniel Gomez, my name is Nevada Franklin Harper, and this is the I Have a Dream podcast, and we're out. Boom.